Can you hear me now? Still no sound? You can't hear me? No sound? Oh no, we can't have that. We cannot have that. Can you hear me now? All right. Hey, fam, we're here. We're here. We got liftoff. Sorry about that. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello, hello. Yay. You hear me loud and clear because we cannot have any sound problems. Okay, this is a very important topic on this here Friday. All right. Thank you so much. So I'll start all over. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this Good Friday. I like to call it Friday. The weekend is here. I hope everybody had a good week. And now we are heading into the weekend. So if everybody has great plans for the weekend, or even if you just chilling at home, that's wonderful as well. I hope you have a great, great weekend. Hi, McQueen. How are you? I'm doing good. Thank you. Yes, yes, I'm here. I'm here. And we can hear you. All right. Hey, Miami. Hey, hey. Well, I'm so jealous because it is super, super cold here. And I know Miami is beautiful. I will get there one day. Hello, hello, Real Truth Growth. How are you? How are you? Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hey, the chat is alive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what I was saying before we got started is that if you haven't already downloaded the African Diaspora News Channel app, please head over to your Google Apple Store, download that app. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. There's so much content there. And it's by us and it's for us. And we don't have to worry about censorship or anything else. So download that app. Oh, thank you. You like my glasses? Thank you so much. I need to make sure that I'm able to see you all so I can engage with you. So I wear my glasses until I get my contacts. Then I don't have to be wearing my glasses. But thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So family, today's topic, what I was identifying, which I felt was super important to talk about, was I was just starting to see a rise, and it's a disturbing rise in the amount of the folks, male, okay, we're going to talk about the Brads today, that are just either verbally, physically, just targeting Black women, and then also we're seeing, the folks unaliving sisters, that they're either in relationships with or randomly. And I felt like it was important to talk about it. But before I, start showing some examples of it, because we're going to travel through the United States and Canada and show a few examples, I just want to preface by saying, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that all of the folks are like this and all of the folks are targeting Black women. I'm not saying that because I know people are going to be like, oh, not all of them are like this. And then also, let me just also say, a lot of people are like, oh, Black men do it too. Okay, I'm not discounting that either. But the topic of today is what I'm identifying as a problem, which is some of the folks that are targeting the sisters. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. I know there are some people, love who you want to love, be with whomever you want to be with. Okay, and now we're talking about relationships, interracial relationships. It is your choice. I'm merely saying that there is a problem that I am seeing that is escalating. And so I want to talk about that. And that's what this is about. So don't at me. Yeah, I agree, Kevin. Yeah, I agree. I think in general, we all have to just exercise the same level of just caution, and especially with women, tapping into our women's intuition. Something doesn't feel right, not ignoring the red flags and what have you. But let us just watch some examples. I'm going to start with a man by the name of Mike Purvis, and this happened in Augusta, Georgia. Apparently, he didn't like the way this sister was driving, so he came at her. Let's just watch that one.
Don't try to run. Shut up. You still white. you're still black. You know what's great?
You see
You're
this?
still going to be black, and we're not.
What's wrong with your car?
Okay, so that was Mike Purvis, and as I said, this happened in Augusta, Georgia. He didn't like the way she was driving. So he approached this sister. He called her the N-word, and then he's talking about you're still white, I'm still white, and you're still black. Okay, first of all, is that supposed to be an insult? I'm not offended by that. I'm very proud to be black. So if somebody said that to me, I'll be like, yeah, thank you. And I am very happy that I am black. Okay. So that is actually comical. But calling her the N-word and just attacking her because you don't like the way she drives, she didn't do anything to him. Okay. It's not like she hit him. It's not like it was a road rage or anything like that. Exactly. What's wrong with black? Exactly. I guess he felt like by saying that, it's like, oh, guess what? I'm better than you. At the end of the day, I'm still white and you're still black. It's like, please, you're really not insulting that woman. But what's offensive is the fact that you're verbally assaulting her, calling her outside her name, and calling her a racial slur. So Mike Purvis is the star of the Brad show in this situation. Let us keep traveling. This is a man by the name of Ronald Gorham, and this happened in Houston. And he lied on this sister and said that she hit his car. So check out how this altercation went.
Saw me turn the radius. I didn't hit you and run. I'm right here at the gas station.
Right now.
Nobody hit you and ran. I turned into the gas
At
station.
the corner of Perry Road.
What's wrong with you?
Perry and Mills Road.
Nobody hit you and ran. You hit my car and I pulled over to the gas station. You seen me turning around.
Mills Road and Perry Road. Mine's a gray Mojave Jeep versus an Altima gray Altima Nissan.
Exactly. And you talking about somebody hit and ran.
All right.
I got out of the school zone and you saw me turning around.
Police should be here in a couple seconds.
That's fine.
What?
That's fine. That's what I said.
Okay.
Nobody. Yeah. Yeah, you going to jail. Yeah, you going to jail.
Okay, so that is, as I said, that's Ronald Gorham. He ended up getting arrested in assault, charged with assault and a possible hate crime. This man punched her in the face. First, he spat on her, and then he punched her in the face. And this is all because of something she didn't do. As I said, he claims she hit him. She did not. And this is how it ended up. He ended up getting arrested. Not sure what happened after that, whether or not there's a court date, whatever the case is. My point is that there was a false accusation. And then when this sister was, she was giving it back to him, but not insulting him, not calling him outside of his name, not calling him outside of his race, nothing like that. He was the one who assaulted her. Gas station. Okay. So let us keep going.
You're still white. You're still black.
Let me
Nobody
just
hit
fast
you and
forward.
ran. I turned into the gas station.
Fast forward. I'm sorry, people.
Road,
Technical issues.
Perry and Mills Road.
We'll just watch that
Nobody
one
hit you and ran.
again.
You hit my car and I pulled over to the gas station. You seen me turning around.
Mills Road and Perry Road. Mine's a gray Mojave Jeep versus an Altima gray Altima Nissan.
Exactly. And you talking about somebody hit and ran.
All right.
I got out of the school zone and you saw me turning around.
Police should be here in a couple seconds.
That's fine.
What?
That's fine. That's what I said.
Okay.
Nobody. Yeah. Yeah, you going to jail. Yeah, you going to jail.
So as you can see, he was arrested on the spot.
just want to know why.
Okay, so in this case, now we're going to fatalities. This man ended up unaliving this sister. Let us watch this one.
did she do to you for you to kill her and then put her in a wall? When he said, "We found your daughter," I just collapsed. I was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
It was the news no one in 28-year-old Renia Lewis's family wanted to hear. Police found her body behind a wall inside this home on 14th Street in Vallejo. Her mother last texted her on Friday and thought it was unusual not to get a response.
When they found her body behind the wall. They nailed her body behind them.
Vallejo police announced late Tuesday that they had arrested Douglas Shaw. It's still unclear what his relationship is to Renia or to the home.
The person that they have in custody is being cooperative, stated that he did indeed kill Renia. He threw her phone on top of the school. That's the most information that I have.
Police now have Renia's phone, which her family says last pinged at this address. Her mother used the Life 360 app to track her final location, and her cousin LaToya helped lead the family's search in the area.
So in this story, they are saying they don't know whether or not or that Sister Renia was in a relationship with this man, but somehow she ended up at his home and he ended up unaliving her and nailing her body to the wall. Okay? Nailing her body to a wall. Make it make sense. Now, again, random? Perhaps, because they're saying there was no relationship here. Now we're going to go over to Toronto. This was in downtown Toronto on King Street at a store called John's Mart. And I guess the owner, manager, not sure who he is, but I believe he's somebody that's in some sort of position of power within that store. He felt as though these two sisters who were standing outside the store were, what is it? Loitering, whatever. So, or trespassing. So look at what he did to them. So, family, what happened there is he said that these two sisters were trespassing. So instead of having just a normal, humane conversation that you have with somebody who was trespassing, which, by the way, I don't even know what that constitutes to be trespassing. But in any event, he claims they were trespassing. So what does he do? He shoves them to the ground with such force. Then he says trespassing and then puts up his middle finger to them. Again, two Black women minding their Black business. Didn't do anything wrong. This was in Toronto, as I said. And then we have a man who was in a store, a Black employee, and in the store he bumped into her. And all she said to him is, "Hey, you just bumped into him. Bumped into me, excuse me." And watch his reaction.
Y'all see boy calling me a all that?
So, as I said, he bumped into her. She's a store employee. He bumped into her. And then she said, "You bumped into me." He called her the N-word. Then he turned around, hauled off, punched her in the head. She ended up having to go to the hospital, and turns out she had a concussion. Still trying to find out who this person is. And that's the other problem I have. These people, a lot of them will do this and they go off and nothing happens. So this is a problem for me because our sisters are being attacked left, right, and center. And I'm hearing it more and more. I'm seeing it more and more and more. So the question begs, Why is this happening? And it might just be that it has been happening, but with the technology that we have now with phones and everything, we're able to capture it. But why is it happening? And it's also happening online. I know I can tell you for a fact, I have been called everything but a child of God by the folks. They come for me. I get a lot of hate mail, emails, text messages. I mean, like on my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the time. For me, it doesn't fuel me. It doesn't move me. It doesn't affect me. But that's not the same for everybody. I can't speak for all sisters, especially those who are no longer with us. So let's go back a little bit and let us talk about remember Sade Robinson, who went on her first date with Maxwell Anderson? Remember these two here? And remember this man who unalived her and dismembered her and put her body parts all over? Remember him? Again, this sister trusted this man, had a first date, ended up at his home, and ended up losing her life. Okay. And then remember Nia Wilson, who random stabbing by this man, John Cowell, in 2020 on a subway, minding her black business. So, we can't ignore the fact that this is happening more and more and more to our sisters. We can't ignore this. And it is extremely troubling for me because, if you think about it, us sisters in general, strength to strength, physically, we're not stronger than most men. So we're in a vulnerable state if you think about it. And then you think about single moms, single women, that are alone. And you have some of the folks who follow sisters home during road rage incidences. I mean, it is getting out of control. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because we have so many sisters who go on, their whole brand, their whole social media is about, hey, sisters, you need to cast your net wide. You need to, don't put all your eggs in the black man basket. Black men are this and black men are that. And again, I'm not suggesting that there aren't black men who are out here also doing this to our sisters. My point is that all races are, you go through this with all races, not everybody. I mean, sorry, not just black men, not just the folks. My point is that black women in general, we need to be smart. We need to not have this false sense of security, thinking that because you went through something with a black man, that means I'm going here, and I'm only going here. And there are some successful marriages. I'm not saying there aren't. There are some successful marriages, like Eve and her husband Maximilian. They've been married for 10 years, and you've got Serena Williams and Alexis Ohanian married for 8 years. So if it works, it works. My point is that we should not allow ourselves to not tap into our gift that God gave us, women's intuition, and make sure it's the right match regardless. And that's where I feel like we have to be really careful as sisters out here. So you say that there's people looking for their next meal while these people are out enjoying privileges and abusing people. Um, exactly. I agree. It's been out of control. Exactly. Sade Robinson, et cetera, et cetera. Just black females beware. That's all I'm saying. So that the Wilson incident was in the Bay Area. Yeah. It's and so yeah, Buckhorse is saying if you're a real bro, when I see it, yeah, you're gonna defend. And we are seeing that too. We definitely are seeing a lot of brothers step up because oftentimes too, some of these folks that are, targeting us, sometimes they assume that we're alone. They want to attach themselves to that stereotype of the single black female or the single black, mom. So they follow us, and sometimes they're in for a rude awakening because we are not alone. Okay? We're not all alone. Don't get it twisted. Well, okay, but Isaac, not all black women hate black men, right? So, you know, does that mean if you see a black woman being attacked by one of the folks that you'll just walk by? Would you really just walk by and allow them to do that? I'm just putting that question out there. Exactly. So Kevin's saying they're doing it because they know there's no black man around, so they don't feel threatened. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was just saying. Oftentimes they feel like the sister's alone. So it's like, "Oh, I'm coming for you. I'm following you home. I'm following you wherever you're going. I'm following you around. I'm just going to, I'm tacking you on the subway. I'm verbally assaulting you. They see you alone in your car, and it just continues to happen. I'm going to show you another incident that happened in the western Toronto, the west end of Toronto, in a parking lot when this sister was just parked and getting herself ready. So she was parked in visitors parking and she was just getting herself together so she can go where she was going. And one of the folks is an elderly man, approached her and started verbally attacking her. So let's just watch this.
Have a mouth on you. Shut up. Get the out of here.
I'm a customer here. I was just on my phone, just preparing myself for my appointment that was at 12 o'clock. And he approaches my window. You can see that he's angry and he just looks very annoyed and disturbed. And he goes, "You can't park here."
This is my parking.
This is immediate customers parking only.
No, people like you park and scratch cars.
So because she was defending herself and saying, "Wait, this is visitors parking. I'm here because I'm going in this establishment." He said, "You blacks have a mouth on you." And told her, "Get the F out of here." And, this is my parking spot. Like, excuse me, it is a public parking spot. And again, this was in Toronto. So this happens in Canada too, happens in the United States. So I wanted to give you a good balance of that this is happening. And again, I repeat, I've been verbally attacked by the folks too, by many times, online, in person. Just the other day in the gas station, one of them went off on me, and unfortunately, I did not have my phone with me. I had my dog with me, and he came barreling into the parking lot at, like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 miles an hour, which you don't do, right? And nearly hit me and my dog. So I was like, "Hey, watch where you're going." And he got out and he went off on me, and I was giving it back to him. But I was holding my dog, phone was in the car. I was just walking her so she can go and relieve herself. And he went off on me, but I wasn't alone. He thought I was because hubby was pumping the gas, but he didn't know, and hubby got in his face. And let me tell you how quickly that man folded and was like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry." Yeah, but I was still going off on him. And then he made this comment, "Oh, it's you people's world. I just live in it." And I was like, "Say it. Say it with your whole chest. What do you mean, you people?" And man, I wish I had my phone, family. But anyway, I say all that to say is this happens here too. And I've it's happened to me several times. There is a bullseye on sisters. And these are just a few examples. It is happening over and over and over again. And there is a rise, and it's disturbing to me. So it did a lot of damage to our people, especially the divide between the brothers and sisters. Don't forget the episode where she pushed "I don't want my daughter" Um, yeah, I remember that too. But again, I'm just saying, look, I'm not going to tell anybody who to love. You love whoever you want to love. And, if you want to have be friends, whatever the case is. I'm just saying that there's what I'm identifying is that some sisters are feeling like, okay, black men are not good. They're all abandoning their children. They're this, they're that, they're this. I happen to know many black men that are in very successful relationships and marriages with sisters, and they treat their sisters good, and the sisters treat their men good, and so there's a lot of that narrative where they feel like, okay, it is better over here. And I'm saying you cannot say that necessarily. If you have a good relationship with one of the folks, God bless you. I'm just saying you cannot paint all black men with that broad brush that they're all bad, and then you use your entire social media to bash them and then encourage sisters to not have anything to do with them. Your lived experience, you made a choice, fine. I'm just saying you cannot have this false sense of security, because we have seen examples of what's happening to our sisters who are either in a relationship or not in a relationship, but they're being attacked by the folks, some of them. And that's your choice too, right? You choose who you want to be in and who you want your lover to be. That's everybody's right. I'm just saying we have to keep our eyes open. We've got to tap into our women's intuition. um how can we protect ourselves? I see that question there. Well, I honestly feel like, I know for me personally, I've taken self-defense classes and I continue to do so, because I'm a black woman. I'm out here in Canada. There's a lot of anti-black racism here. I know I've already been verbally attacked several times by the folks. So I always have to make sure I'm prepared to defend myself, and I think we all should, because like I said, strength wise, for the most part, they're always going to be stronger than us and overtake us. So we have to be prepared. So I feel like that's one of the solutions, is we definitely have to be prepared to defend ourselves. Yeah, looks can be deceiving. I agree. Looks can be deceiving. Yep. Yep. So you feel like, yeah, you feel like these content creators are encouraging sisters to put themselves in dangerous situations. I just feel like, look, if a sister goes through a bad breakup or a bad situation with a brother, and listen, before I was married, I've had bad relationships with the brothers, but I never abandoned the brother, and that was my personal preference. Is I love my black men. And so in my mind, it's like finding the right fit. So, learning from past experiences, and when you get into another relationship, you just, you make sure it's the right fit for you. You don't ignore the red flags. I just feel like some sisters, when they make a conscious decision, okay, I'm leaving the black man, I'm abandoning, they're all bad, and I'm going white, and they make that intentional choice, it's almost as though some of you let your guard down a little bit sometimes, and then you end up in a situation, right? And so I'm just saying, if you make that choice, just exercise the same level of caution that you would in with any race of person you choose to be in a relationship with, right? Thank you for not saying that. Yeah. Well, and I've seen some sisters who do walk with a big old can of mace. They just want to make sure they're prepared, right? You said you'll never abandon a black woman. Yes. And there are several black women who will never abandon a black man. And some who chose to. Again, that's your choice. I'm just saying I'm tired, and it really hurts my heart so much to see all of this going on, with all of these attacks on the sisters, verbally, as I said, physically, unaliving, and then also when you see stories like dismembering and nailing them to the wall, it suggests that there's a level of hate. There's a level of hate you have for these Black women, spitting on us, calling us out our name. Like, to me, there's a level of hate, and that is very problematic for me. Thank you so, so much, Bragu7. I hope I said it right. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh yes, Gary Heinrich. Yeah, exactly. Like intentional target of the sisters. But like I said, these are just a few examples. These are a few examples. So I'm just saying to the sisters out here, I will keep saying it. Moreover, choose who you want to choose to love. I'm just saying we have to be careful. And to the sisters who are being just targeted by some of the folks out here, we have to be prepared to defend ourselves. We have to be ready to defend ourselves. Maxwell Anderson got life in prison for what he did. John Cowell also got life in prison for what he did. So, definitely report them as well. Report them to the police. The sisters that got shoved by that man, they did go to the police and file a police report. Not sure what happened after that. I also feel like we also need to make sure that we get to know, or somehow get the contact of these people that are assaulting us. I know for me personally, when it's happened to me, I just didn't have my phone, so I wasn't able to even get a license plate. And sometimes you get in that situation where it just is so random and it comes out of nowhere. You're not prepared to make sure that you have it. But we got to make sure dash cams, um, phones, whatever protection we need to have on our person, we definitely have to be prepared. And you're saying, Black man, it's not your fight. Okay, that's your decision if you don't feel like it's your fight. But you know what? There are some brothers who are willing to fight for us when they see it. They do something about it. Whether it's our brother, whether it's a random stranger, whether it's a friend, and sometimes it's even one of the folks who happens to be a friend and sees it and defends the sister. It does happen too. Yeah, thank you. I agree with you. The Lion's Den, I agree. Yep, it's really just not necessarily a warning, but just some sisterly advice from Auntie M. I'm just saying, we really are targeted, and I'm seeing it more and more, and it's really bothering me. It's really, really troubling me. So thank you for loving this message. And the sisters, like you said, the sisters who will encourage it, and that's fine. Listen, like I said, there are sisters out here who use their social media, and they encourage sisters to cast their net wide, and they have nothing but bad things to say about Black men. I'm just saying, I know many Black men, and even those that I don't know, I see there are Black men that are doing wonderful things, that treat Black women well, and that are wonderful people with beautiful hearts. I know many. So we can't say all Black men are like this. So I know I got a lot of messages before I even started this live from people saying, Black men do it too. Stop it. And not all white men are like that. Stop it. I didn't say all are. I did not. I just gave examples though. So we can't say it doesn't exist, because it does. Yeah. So yeah, Cherry is saying as their numbers decrease, they will become brazenly desperate. Stay safe out there. Yeah, we have to stay safe. We got to keep our heads on swivel. We have to be very, very aware of our surroundings, because even if we do utter something back to them, it's like, how dare you, Black woman? How dare you speak to me or speak back to me? And they come for us. So yeah, you know. Yes, yeah, you're saying to say it's not your fight. That sounds crazy. Yeah. Well, there are some black men who do say that sisters are divestors, so that's their choice. But there are a lot of black men who also are swirlers too, right? So it's not only sisters that are doing it. They're swirlers too. Oh, really? You're saying that most black people don't believe racism exists? I don't know if it's most, but I do know there are some that do feel that way. And I'm like, I don't know what world you're living in. But clearly you're not watching what all of us wonderful journalists on this channel are showing you. But I don't know where you are. Maybe you're living in Arkansas with the folks. I'm not sure about that. So you're saying Muhammad Ali said all of them look the same. How do you know if it's the snake you picked? Yeah, well, exactly. You just don't know, right? That's why I'm saying we as women we have this gift. It's called women's intuition. So don't get blinded by the light, if you know what I'm saying. And then you end up in a situation. So we have to exercise our wisdom for sure. Well, I'm not talking wrong about black women. I'm just saying black women, if that's directed to me, black women, some, not all, just need to be careful. I'm talking about the ones who enter into relationships as well. We just need to, in general, like sweeping, need to be careful. Okay, yeah. So you saw another story about a sister who Braga was saying that there was a sister who actually said she hates black men, and she entered into a relationship with one of the folks, and she ended up getting unalived by that man. So, again, I think maybe sometimes there's a false sense of security that you feel like, okay, it's better. I'm not sure because I personally have not been in a relationship with anything other than a black man. So I don't know. I'm just saying that maybe that could be the case because when you think of Sade, that was a date. And apparently they'd been talking for a little bit before she went on that date with him. So, you know, well, I'm not expecting black women to protect. I'm sorry, I'm not expecting black men to protect black women. I'm just saying, just like if it was a black man who had a black sister, would he not protect her if she was being brutally attacked, either verbally or physically attacked? By one of the folks. So if you saw a sister out there, you don't know her story, you don't know what it is, you just saw a sister being attacked, are you going to just walk by and say, well, some of y'all sisters are divestors, so not my fight? Would you really do that? That's I'm just saying. Oh, I don't know about that. So you're saying if they can't have the white supremacy man, then they deal with brothers who does white supremacy bidding? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I've not experienced that. I've not seen anything like that, but okay. We just have to heal a lot of our people. Uh-huh. If you don't incorporate ancestral spirituality in your life, it will always remain. Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying, just me. You're saying that black men don't want black women. And again, let me just be clear. I'm not saying that black women should not be with any of the folks. I'm just saying we can't ignore the rise in the amount of the folks And if we're going to just do an apples to apples comparison, the folks who are in relationships, not all, some of the folks who have entered into relationships with sisters have ended up unalive. So I'm saying just exercise the same level of caution. Don't ignore red flags, because there are stories of sisters who are in or have been in relationships with the folks, and that man has called her the N word, has told her, you need to refer to me as master, and all that other stuff. So if I was a sister and I entered into a relationship with one of the folks and he was saying those kinds of things to me, should I stay in a relationship with somebody like that? Should I ignore that? Is that not a red flag? So there are a lot of stories that go like that too. And that to me is a foreshadowing of how things can escalate, right? So I'm just saying, I'm not telling black women to do anything or the other. I'm saying just be careful. Choose who you want, love who you want. Just be careful. We can't ignore what I just showed you, because some of them were not in relationships. They were just in a verbal confrontation. Oh, so you're talking about Telvin Osborne and how he hated black women, and yeah, and that woman, yeah, exactly. And by the way, I saw that she's actually getting off too. So yep, yep. And there are black men that do that. There are black men who definitely also have their content where they're just going in on black women. So I will say this, with the amount of black men who are with, the folks and other races of people, there is, it does, the window does close for sisters who want to be with a black man. So yes, I'm not saying you can't be in a relationship with other races of people. I'm just saying be careful. The whole point of this is to say, look, be careful. Be careful. Just exercise wisdom, caution, all of this stuff. Tap into that woman's intuition. I don't want people like, because I'm seeing in the chat, some people are saying stop encouraging. I'm not encouraging it either way. All I'm encouraging our sisters to do is be careful. Don't ignore the signs. Exactly, Buckhorse. Just know the rules. Know the rules. And, just tap into your God-given gift. Yep, having a chaperone is not a bad idea at all. Especially like sisters who single sisters heading out somewhere, traveling even too. Especially with online dating. Let's just talk about online dating as well, because you're online dating, you're talking to somebody that's on a keyboard, that and an image, and so you got to be really careful too with the online dating. Some people are flying out, traveling somewhere to go meet up with the person, so you want to be super super careful there as well. You want to be careful as well with that too, right? Yeah, exactly. Choose a man, a real man, the right fit for you, the right match. Exactly, just me, the right match, no matter the race. That's what I'm saying. But again, I'm just pointing out that we can't ignore what we're seeing escalating against the sisters. Yeah, fix our, yeah, and deal with our traumas. Yep. 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 Father with Don. Yep. Yep. So just me, you're saying that black men blame everything on black women. Um, Yeah, take yeah, yeah. Yes, I mean there are not all, but there are some black men who are in relationships with the folks, and they do trash black women. Um I just saw a report the other day. It was a one of the folks, a woman who was saying that her black coworker keeps sending her messages, and it's jokes about black women. And she actually said to him, "Hey, stop sending that to me. That's not okay with me. I don't." And that's one of the folks telling this black man to stop. So there are black men. There are some black men that do that for sure. They do. I agree with you there too. Um, Yekwaba, I agree with you. So, okay, so Brogo, you said we live in a world where black women are basically trashing black men. No other group is doing that. Well, okay, listen. There are some. It's not all black women. There are some. I personally love black men. I have never trashed a black man, okay? Even if they're not doing good, I'm not going to trash them. I'm just going to say, "Hey, what you're doing isn't good." I'll definitely call you out on it, but not a sweeping narrative about black men, because there are good black men. Just like there are good of the folks and there are bad of the folks and there are bad black men, for sure. But that goes across all races of people. What? Okay, I don't agree with you at all, Winter Soldier. You're saying that black women go out of their way to get hands put on them? No. By the folks? I don't know. I don't agree with you there. I'm sorry. I definitely do not. But if they come at me, I'm going to defend myself. But I don't go looking for it. No, come on. Oh, I don't. Ooh, Stone Chaser. You think so? I don't know about that. Do you think a black man would have? I don't know. I don't know. Protection at its best. Yep, I agree. Yep, protection at its best. I Listen. I said it at the top. I am not discounting the fact that black men do it too. I said that. But we cannot ignore the fact that the folks are doing it. And I'm talking about the folks right now because I'm seeing an increase in that, in the amount of that's going on. So and I said it already. I do not discount it. All I'm saying is because I'm a black woman, and I'm seeing our sisters getting attacked verbally, physically, being accused of things they didn't do, having to end up in hospitals with concussions, being dismembered, nailed to walls, and all that other stuff, spat on. So I'm seeing an increase in that. So all I am saying is let me talk to my sisters real quick and say, just be careful. Be careful. I agree. Um, Benita Pollard, I agree with you. Um, we can't think that racism doesn't exist. You're definitely living under a rock if you think it doesn't exist. But that's not true that black women don't like black men. We do. We love our black men. That's not true. I have many black sisters that are my friends and what have you that love black men. That's not true. Exactly. Just use common sense. Use common sense and tap into that woman's intuition. That's what I keep saying. Exactly. If you don't want to protect them, stop arguing about it. Yes, thank you. I agree. Yes. Yes, Rosalind. It's very important for us to know the history because when I see this happening in 2025, that's just like history, a piece of history repeating itself, right? So, okay, well, that's your choice, Soulless. If you don't want to protect a black woman because she's black, that's your choice. That's your choice. I'm not telling anybody to protect us. I'm saying we as sisters need to protect ourselves. But I'm just asking because somebody was saying that they didn't want to protect Black women because they're divestors. So I'm asking, if you saw them, you don't know their character, you don't know anything about them. You're just seeing a Black woman being attacked by one of the folks. It is entirely up to you if you choose not to. That's your choice. Nobody's asking you to. Exactly. The folks aren't the only men on on the planet. That's why I'm saying you can love whoever you want to love. I'm just saying just be careful. And don't have this false sense of security because of what you went through with a Black man, and you feel like you already go in feeling like this is a safe space for you. That's how we can sometimes get in trouble, and you see these kinds of reports come out, right? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Not saying just me. Not saying, but we can't ignore the fact that it's happening a lot and a lot and a lot more with the folks too, unaliving Black women. Well, I mean, I have to have compassion, the lion's den. So even if a Black woman chooses to deal with a certain type of one of the folks and ends up in that situation, it's still going to bother me. I'm still going to, I'm still going to be upset. It's still going to trouble my soul that this happened to the sister, because that sister has parents, has a family, had a life, had friends, and she's gone as a result of it. So I mean, I have like I if you can't not have some sort of feeling about that. You can't not feel a certain type of way about it. Yeah, that is true. A lot of us, yes, a lot of sisters have been hurt, and they've been hurt time and time again by a Black man, and then they feel like, okay, I'm going to open up my mind to other races of people. And again, that's fine. I'm not judging you for who you choose to love. Again, I've just shown examples, whether you're in a relationship or not, of the sisters being attacked by the folks. And some of them. So I'm just saying, we have to be careful. Hi, Renz. How you doing? Yes, you have to be careful of any man. That's why I'm saying don't have a false sense of security because you're going to another race of man. That's my whole point. Well, if okay, if a Black woman wants to defend the folks, that's fine. Maybe they have great experiences with the folks. More power to them. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Derek Williams. I do. I agree. And yeah, there are some sisters who have been through some stuff. There are some brothers who have been through some stuff, and hurt people sometimes. And, we have to get past that. We do. And once we get past that hurt, and we enter into another relationship, and if it's with another race of person, we can't have go in with blinders on, right? That's my whole point, and I know I sound repetitive, but I just keep saying it. Oh, you guys are really going in on each other in this chat, eh? I knew it was going to be a very spirited conversation because it is, and it's super important as well. Look, family, I'm going to say this again. All I'm saying is this: I am not discounting the fact that there are some Black men who have not done right by the sisters. I myself have been in relationships where I was not treated well. But when that happened, I realized and recognized this is not right for me. So it never got to a point, and I didn't allow it to get to that point. But do you know why that is? Is because we as Black women also have to learn to love ourselves. We have to love ourselves first. Love yourself first. Know your worth. Know what it is you have to bring to the table or to a relationship. Recognize the red flags, and don't make excuses for anybody that's not treating you right. You gotta exit stage left, and say, you know what? I'm good. And if it means you're going to be alone, be alone. If it means you got to be single until the right person comes along. And that's really what it boils down to. If we all exercise that same level of, mindset, then perhaps we wouldn't see these kinds of things happening. We can't control the ones like the Brads that just randomly come for us for no reason. But if we're talking about relationships and opening your heart, that's all I'm saying. You just got to be, you have to be careful, but it starts with loving yourself and then not making excuses when you see something that's, not right for you. That's really what I'm saying. So you're saying a great point, and I believe it's coming to that point where brown men are willing to ignore seeing a divester being attacked. Yeah, yeah. Well, again, it's their choice to not want to protect a sister. I know for me personally, even though I'm a woman, if I saw it, I would do whatever I had to do to defend and protect that sister. I'm sorry. Like for example, if I was there and I saw those two sisters get shoved in downtown Toronto by that man, I wouldn't just stand there like a lot of people were just standing around. Oh no, no, no. We're doing something. Something's got to happen. Exactly. Love yourself is right. Thank you. Yes. Just another woman. Exactly. It starts with us. It starts within us. It starts with that inner work within us. And you got to ask yourself if something doesn't seem right, if something doesn't smell right, it's because it doesn't smell right. If something is too good to be true, it's because it's too good to be true. So you really got to take the time. Like what happened to the good old days when you were courted and you spent a lot of time communicating and all that stuff and really getting to know the person and not making excuses. Oh, well, it was this one time and he apologized, so everybody deserves a second chance, and then the second chance becomes the third chance, and the third chance becomes the fourth chance. And do you know, I got some advice from a male friend of mine. He's a brother, lives in Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to my friend Lamont, who said to me, and this is for the sisters in general. He was saying that, listen, if you're a sister and you recognize a red flag, and it's like bright red, okay? You recognize that red flag and you make a choice to leave that relationship. It doesn't matter how much he's crying and begging and stuff. You have to really mean it. He says, mean it. Don't go back, because if you go back, you've given that man power to just continue to do what it is he's doing. So that was really good advice. But again, it starts with loving yourself, right? Because there can be some men that will literally break you, and that's their lease in life to break you. And by the time, they're done with you, you're a shell of a person. So you have to have that level of confidence and self-love and self-worth and all of that. So you think phones destroyed an entire generation? You feel like they're always in their phones and their devices, and also just on their phones on dating apps and stuff like that. So that sort of the organic way of meeting and doing things. Yeah, to some extent I do agree. But they do say like a lot of the online dating and stuff, there's like 65% marriage ends in there's a 65% rate that ends in marriage. So I don't know. I've never done it. It's not my cup of tea. I'm an old school person. I like the old school way. So, but yeah, exactly. Flack 592. Yeah, if you're abused, you just leave that person. Leave that person, because 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter how much they apologize, they'll do it again. And sometimes it starts with a whisper. I call it a whisper, like it's a name. They call you a name, or they put you down or something, and then it just kind of goes up, right? And then we'll be like, oh, they didn't mean it. Oh, we was, and then sometimes you blame yourself. I made him mad. I did it. It was because of me. I shouldn't have said what I said. I shouldn't have done what I done. There's never any excuse as far as I'm concerned. So you feel like no phones when you're on a date. Yeah, really tap in with that person that you're talking to so that you could really hone in, look at them, see what the chemistry's saying, all of that stuff. And personally, I'm not going to anybody's house on a first date. I'm not. I don't care how long we've been talking. You're not coming to my house. I'm not going to your house. It's not going to be a Netflix and chill. You're not cooking for me because sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'll cook for you. Come over. Let's cook together. Nah, no, 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 no. So, yeah, that's another thing. Like I said, woman's intuition. Tap into it, sisters. Tap into it. So you're saying that the USA is a total nightmare, eh? Oh, well, listen, I've been out of singledom for some time, but I do have some friends that are, and I hear some of the stories, and I'm like, whew, uh, I'll tell you what, family. If I had to be single today or tomorrow, I'm telling you, it's just me and my dogs. It's just me and my dogs. I don't even know how to integrate. I wouldn't know what to do out there in these streets. So you're saying a lot of black men too have vitriol? Well, again, I'm not saying I haven't seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it too. I've seen it too. And there are a lot of black men who are just denigrating the sisters. Um, It happens too. It happens. I just feel like in general everybody should be careful, but the only reason I'm talking about this right now is because like I said, I'm starting to see this happening a lot more. I could have spent a whole hour bringing you guys examples of this. So it's disturbing to me. And that's really all this is about. It's really just sisters be careful, self-love, women's intuition, be careful, take self-defense classes, be prepared to defend yourselves, report them to the authorities, all of those things. Keep watch at night, pumping gas, walking your dog, whatever you're doing. Just always be aware of your surroundings. And that's really all this is about because again, this really really was troubling to me as I started to see it, and I just wanted to share it with you all and have this dialogue and talk about it. So thank you so much for giving me an hour and 5 minutes of your time on Friday of all days. But I am going to love y'all and leave y'all, and I hope you have a great weekend. And again, I will say, be safe, sisters, be safe. Have a good and safe weekend. I shall see you again on Monday, same time, same channel. Until then, please, again, be safe, everyone. And once again, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app from your Google or Apple store. You want to get that app, run over. And do not, do not, do not forget to love yourself first. All right? So thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, everybody. I see everybody saying bye to me. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. And again, I'll see you next week.